Hello, my wonderful, lovely wine lovers. Ryan the Wine Guy here, bringing you another wine of the world. Today I will be reviewing an Italian wine. It is Piccini Chianti Classico, a 2011 red wine from Italy. This is what it looks like. You might find other vintages that look the same, but this is their 2011. The wine in the glass. I like how it has a nice sort of pinkish, light pinkish rim to it. It's not terribly dark, but it's not terribly light either, like you would get for some things. Well, thank you very much. All those likes and wows and everything, and laughters, and only thing I'm not getting is angry faces, but I might get those soon enough. So it's just a very nice color-coded wine. And again, that is what it looks like. It is going to be imported from Foley Family Wines, based out of Sonoma, California. 13% alcohol by volume, which for Italian wines, that's pretty much about average. You're looking at 13%, maybe as low as 12, but it's usually within the 12 to 13.5% range. Let's see what it's doing on the nose here. Oh wow, that is a lovely nose. I'm getting like a lot of plum juice on it. Some red berries like strawberries. Maybe even some dried cherries. I'm also kind of getting a slight earthy scent to it. Not a huge one like that French wine, but just a tad little earth on it. Something I can definitely see that would be paired well with a nice dinner, just like a pasta or chicken with some vegetables. Alright, let's see what it's doing on the palate. So the palate, you definitely get this sort of tart strawberry, very at the front, very fruit forward Chianti wine, very tart strawberry at the front. I want to say there's definitely some hints of those other berries I was mentioning, some blueberry, um, not blueberry, plum. Although there might be a little bit of blueberry in here, maybe a hint, but definitely that plum to it. Definitely a very if I don't get drunk, you're gonna be pissed. Well, I don't like to get drunk while I'm doing my reviews. I like to be um, fresh and have my mind be all good. I don't want to go out of my way and be on here not knowing how to uh, say what I'm feeling, what I'm smelling, what I'm tasting. Um, there's a slight little spice at the very end, a nice long lingering spice. Um, Definitely a very dry wine. You can definitely notice the tannins in here. Tannins are a little high, so I would definitely say another wine definitely that you need to eat with something at the start, and then you'll be okay throughout the evening to drink a glass by itself, but not something I would just flat out off the bat drink by itself. Do a follow up after I finish the bottle. Well, I'm splitting this bottle with my stepdad, so um, but who knows? Sometimes two glasses is enough, especially if I have two full glasses of this one that I have here. Um, but yeah, the tannins are high, so it's a very dry wine. In fact, it even says on the back. Let me all show you. Dry red wine. There you go. So it even warns you that this is going to be dry. So that's typically what you expect when you have the for some of you that don't know, when you say something's high in tannins, it means that it's going to be more dry on the taste. It's going to leave you wanting to have some water. Unlike the acidity, something that's usually higher in acidic, depending on how high it is, but something that's like has acidity versus no acidity is going to be more mouth watering. So this doesn't really give out that mouth watering taste to it. It gives out that kind of like it's a dry wine, so you need to pair me with something. But overall, it's still pretty good. I'm going to say, well, let's see one more time. I just like the nose. I mean, the nose is really what stands out. Like you're just getting all these berries in it with a light touch of earth. And then I that like just tart strawberry at the very beginning, which if you're not one that is really into like really tart fruits or like really ripe fruits, definitely not the wine for you. But if you are one who really loves wine, really wants to experience with wine, this is definitely something I would say would be up your alley. So I'm going to give this a hmm, man, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I think for a 5-year-old wine, it definitely shows. It definitely stands out in nature. Um, Although I still feel that even though it is only 5 years, I still feel that it is somewhat slightly still young. I feel that it still has room to grow. I feel that uh, the tannins have a little bit room to sort of um, uh, not be there anymore as much. Not that the tannins themselves would ever go away, but I feel that in a few more years, this would have just the perfect tartness to it. Because as I said, it is tart, and for people who don't necessarily like tarts, this would be too much. I, on the other hand, don't mind it, but it definitely is noticeable. So I would say let this sit another few more years, and then I think that tartness, while it'll still be there, it will be more doable for some people. So yeah, an Italian wine. I did an Italian wine last Sunday. It was not. Today was not planned for an Italian. I'm not planning on doing Italians every Sunday. As you all know, I like to explore and expand my horizon. It just so happened to be that this one was one that we had and that I really, really wanted to try and review for you all. So I'm glad I did that. I'll show you all the front bottle one more time. As I said, this is their 2011. I've already seen shelves with 2012, 2013. So keep that in mind when you're drinking those. They may have been made different, different vintages, even sometimes different grapes. Um, I am better than gravy. Oh, um, especially in Italian and France, especially with their vintages, sometimes um, their seasons can sometimes change from time to time. So you may not necessarily get a tartness in the older vintage, or excuse me, a newer vintage than you would in this older vintage. So keep that in mind. Price range. You're probably looking at around, the bottle here says $13.99 plus tax. So I would say roughly, yeah, you probably are looking at around $14 for this. As I said, it is a Chianti Classico. So those you normally would find on straight mid shelf or upper mid shelf wine. So this is definitely going to be not overly expensive like you would on a very, very top shelf, but definitely a sort of mid-priced wine if you're looking at that $10 to $20 range. So this is like hovering right there at 15. On sale, maybe you might be able to find it at some places as low as 11. I can't see going much more than that. And on the high, I do remember when I was in living in Denver, Colorado, I found this one, and I found this one I think for $16.99. So you're looking at $17 at even some places. So it just really all depends on where you live, what the liquor tax is. So just keep that in mind, and also keep in mind the vintage. Well, with that, everyone, one last sip and sniff for you all, or sniff and sip. I don't know why the phone's ringing in the background. It's not my phone, so yeah, just a nice fruity smell and a nice fruit forwardness to the wine. All in all, hands down, like I said, 4 to 5. So do feel free to let me all know what you think of this wine if you've ever tried it, or if you have already tried it, let me know. And or did I just it's the same thing. If you haven't tried it, try it and let me know. If you have already tried it, let me know what you think. And of course, I put all these live videos on YouTube. I can post a link to this, and that way you can all go and see my YouTube channel itself and see all my previous ones. And of course, you can always just look on my profile under my videos to see all my reviews. Well, this has been Piccini Chianti Classico 2011. I have been Ryan the Wine Guy, or I am Ryan the Wine Guy. Until next time, probably tomorrow. But until tomorrow, cheers.